Hello friends, Andrew here. I'm always on the lookout for new anime to watch, but patience ain't one of my strong suits. So, I'm giving each new show of the spring 2017 lineup one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Today, I'm going to watch a new anime called Love Tyrant. Well, okay, the poster art looks typical of modern anime, so okay. Let's see. A beautiful girl named Guri, who has a mysterious item that forces two random people to kiss. You think it's a gun? And turn them into couples. No, wait, she's gonna be Cupid. It's an anime about Cupid. And it has an item that forces two random people to kiss and turns them into couples. Appears in front of high school student Aino Seiji. Despite being dressed up as a Shinigami, Shinigami, for those who don't know, is a like a ghost or spirit of the underworld or realm of death. Ryuk in Death Note is a Shinigami, so in case you were wondering. So, despite being dressed up as a Shinigami, she's actually Cupid. Nailed it! Suddenly, Guri tries to kiss Seiji, and then... ellipses. Unavoidable and uncontrollable. A forceful love comedy that starts with an angel and a kiss. I'm seeing the gal in the yellow blazer holding a really nasty looking knife. I wonder if that's the item that forces two random people to kiss. So instead of Cupid firing a bow at someone, it's like, ah! Coming after you like Jason Voorhees. Alright, first episode of Love Tyrant. Let's see how it is. Using Ryuk as an example of a Shinigami ended up being rather apropos. Because the, how's it phrased, the mysterious item that forces two random people to kiss is not a bow and arrow. It's not this blade thing that the woman on the poster has. It's the Death Note. It's literally the Death Note. Well, it's called the Kiss Note, but it's the same exact thing. For those of you who haven't seen the show, Death Note is about a supernatural book that if you write someone's name in it, they die. So they have the Kiss Note. So if you write Harvey cross Lisa, then Harvey and Lisa have to kiss, and then they're couples from then on out. The show itself even references the fact that they're ripping off Death Note. This is a very, very, very wacky show. So it starts out with, what's-her-face, the Shinigami, Guri, at, what's-his-face, is Aino's door. She's knocking on the door, she says, hi, need a kiss. And he slams the door in her face, so she phases through the door and scares him, and sits him down and says, alright, your name has been written in the Kiss Note, and if you don't kiss someone in 24 hours, death! And then she says, my death, but death nonetheless. And he's like, wait, if I don't kiss anyone in 24 hours, you die? And she goes, yeah. And so he throws her out, and she's like, no, you can't leave me to die, you horrible person. So he lets her back in because he doesn't want the neighbors calling the cops. And she shows him how the Kiss Note works. Basically, you have to write someone's name cross someone else's name. But because she was trying to write something else, she got a kanji wrong and ended up writing his name crossed, but nothing else is at the end. And so he ends up not realizing that. He just smooches her in the face. Me, personally, if that happened, I'd be like, you know, grab the hand. There you go. That good? Now get out. But... you know, because I don't want to indirectly be responsible for anybody's death, but, so she says, no, you don't get it. It has to be, I have to write someone else here in the book. And I'm a real big fan of yaoi manga. Hard word for me to pronounce. Y-A-O-I. Romance stories that star where the couples are both male. Often abbreviated BL, boy love. She's a fan of that, so she keeps writing male couples in there. She says, all right, I'm going to write the Prime Minister's name X, the Vice Prime Minister's name, and then she turns on the TV and there are these two 50-some-year-old politicians making out in, like, in front of Congress or something. And she's like, yay! And he's like, oh God. And she's like, all right, let's go to your school and find some nice young man to write next to your name so you can, you know, play a rousing round of tonsil hockey. I don't like this. So they go to the school, and he spies the woman of his dreams because she has really big boobs that are more animated than she is. Seriously. It's doing the whole, she's running track, and they're saving budget by just, you know, having her in one pose and the background kind of turning a color and streaking to kind of give it a sense of movement, but her boobs are still bouncing. We're going to animate those. And I may go over the entire plot of this, but so this woman turns out to be a yandere, which, oh God, why am I getting into so much lingo? Okay, yandere is it's a portmanteau of two words, one of which is like emotionally strained, emotionally ill, mentally ill, and dere, which is a crush or infatuation. You combine those, you get yandere. I think yanderu is the other word. Yanderu, dere, combine yandere, so some mentally sick person who has a crush on you. Basically a character who is sweet and charming on the outside but will kill you if you don't reciprocate their love. They don't handle non-requited love very well. So she's actually the one in the poster who has the big knife thing. She dual wields. She has two of them. Does she in this? No, she just has the one in the poster. So the Shinigami can't die because the yandere keeps stabbing her because, oh, you cheated on me, because she's a yandere, you see. And so they run away, and the Shinigami writes the yandere's name in there, so they kiss. And then on a whim, she's like, I want to get me in on some of this. So it's our protagonist cross yandere cross Shinigami. And she's like, yay, now we're all a couple and we all live together. And then another character shows up who we think is, but I was in love with, what's his face? I know, the protagonist, from afar. And the yandere, of course, wants to kill her. And it's like, no, I'm not in love with you. I'm in love with the yandere. And it's like, you are? And, of course, the Shinigami is like, oh gosh, we've got Yuri too! Yay! Yuri, of course, being the opposite of yaoi, which is like the hardest... A-O-I, those vowels in order is almost impossible for me to pronounce correctly. But Yuri is love stories with female characters. So, it turns out that not only is this girl fancy the yandere, but they're sisters. One-sama. And of course this excites the Shinigami. So she writes her, and so we've got this person cross this person cross this person. They're starting to write down into the margins. And then it turns out that the Shinigami is not a Shinigami. She's actually a angel. Why did I think of the Japanese word before I thought of the English word? Probably because I'm watching the show in Japanese, but she is Cupid and she has to do her job. If she doesn't do her job, then all of the people who are linked to her, who are now can't die, so the yandere can stab them all they want, their souls will be forfeit and they'll go to hell if she doesn't do her job and she's really lazy. So they have to basically make her do her job and have couples fall in love. And I guess that's where the series is going to go from here. There's also a cat with a man's face. And it's really creepy. You remember the dogs with the man's face in Nightmare on Elm Street 2? Creepy. Very creepy. This is actually the Shinigami's boss, who basically sets some of the ground rules. So, this is a show that... Will I watch episode 2? I think so. It's so off-the-wall bonkers that you just want to see where it's going to go. I have a feeling that this is probably a show that I'll watch 4 or 5 episodes, and I might say, okay, I get it, I've seen enough, let's move on with our lives. I have no idea how long the series is, 12 episodes or 24 or what, but it certainly seems like the kind of show that I'm going to watch another couple episodes just to see if it keeps up that level of humor while continuing to do something different. So it was a fun watch. I enjoyed episode 1 at least. I laughed, and it's style's nice for those who care. The opening song is, you know, upbeat and poppy. It's your typical anime opening song. So yeah, love Tyrant. It's depending on your sense of humor, it's bonkers and pretty funny. See you next time.